Welcome back to the World Junior Curling Championships 2014. Brought to you live from Flims in Switzerland. Third time the juniors are held here in Flims. And this is the Walled House Arena where the games are taking place. This will be the fifth draw in the men's session, and our featured game is the game between Italy and Switzerland. Teams are just lined up, being introduced, and we are almost ready to get started. You see the standings after 4 draws. It's Norway undefeated on 4 wins and no losses. Scotland and Switzerland have 1 loss each. Switzerland only lost to Norway. Italy, they won big against Sweden and again against Austria, but had 2 losses against Canada and USA. See the bottom half of the standings. Sweden and USA on 2 wins each. China still looking for their first win. My name is Sarah Karlsson, and I am unbelievably honored to be joined by the very knowledgeable Sander Olvåg once again.
Well, thank you. Well, Italy's lineup here is lead Roberto Arman, second Daniele Ferrazzi, third Sebastiano Arman, and skip Amos Mozaner. Alternate player Marco Onis, and team coach D'Andrea Galinato.
And the lineup for Switzerland is Michael Probst playing lead. Patrick Wittschonke is second. Yannick Schwaller is third, and this team is skipped by Reto Keller. Their alternate is Romano Mayer, and team coach Erich Nüffinger. And what national anthem is this?
It's Norwegian. Always makes me feel good. Ja, vi älskar. As the title of the Norwegian national anthem. Yes, we love. And by that, yes, we love our country. Now, stern colours, red for Italy, yellow for Switzerland. And by the looks of it, Switzerland will have the last one advantage as we kick off the first end.
Yeah, Amos Mozaner just came up a bit short with his draw, barely made it to the 12 foot, so Switzerland will have at last stone advantage. Just waiting on the games to get started here in the Walled House Arena, and we can tell you that USA will also be playing Austria, China will be playing Canada, Russia against Sweden, and on the sheet next to ours is Scotland playing Norway. Definitely expect that to be a good fight. Norway undefeated and Scotland the reigning champions. I think we might be looking at a very good game as well. Big development for this Italian team over the past couple of years, would you say, Sander?
Yeah, absolutely. Mozaner himself, such a solid skip it seems to be, and he's really developing well. Made the quarterfinals in the Swiss Cup Basel, a big men's tour event earlier this season, and also did quite well at the Europeans We're in the B group, but they made the final, only losing out to Germany's Johnny Jark. So they were close to be challenging for a spot at the Worlds, but certainly will play in the A group next year. So it'll be interesting to see how they get on. And I think they're one of the favourites to maybe get a medal here at the juniors. And it's Roberto Arman, the lead for Italy, that will start off this game. And I wonder, yeah, we're looking for a guard, but Sweeper's backing off it. And when you realise the guard's not going to be there, you make sure it's top 4 at least. So we're going to have an open end here. Bit disappointing. I was hoping for a few stones in play when that centre guard was called.
Yeah, lead for Swiss team is Michael Probst, and they said before the game that they were pretty happy with the tactics that they've had so far in the tournament. They've been keeping it simple, making the easy shots, and basically following the school books and trying to make their opponent play the more difficult shot. And I think that was just an apology that Schwaller swept the stone before it actually had crossed the tee line. Mosaner didn't seem to mind. Young gentlemen out there on the ice today.
Absolutely. Don't think it really matters though. Well, now we will have the centre guard, so Italy gets a new chance to use the free guard zone.
We're happy to see that. We always love to see stones in play. First time at this level for the Swiss team. Had 1 year with this team, but it's only the lead coming on this year. The other guys have been together for 3 years.
So Eliza in the open here should be able to come to the inside of this yellow and just flop in behind. That task is handed to Daniele Ferraza.
And this is the straight side of the sheet, but it's definitely not lacking curl with this shot. Who even wrecks on the guard. And that's not why they put up the centre guard?
No, not really. And it's an early chance for Switzerland to split the rings here.
Yep. Maybe it's working for them. Play the simple shots, make the opponents play the difficult. Second player for Switzerland is Patrick Witschunke. Now going to draw the wing, split the house, create some separation and try and set themselves up for a multiple score.
Just going to play the open here, Italy.
It was a bit tight on his first, so might have overcompensated a little bit there. Just gets it on the nose. Would have liked to roll them a bit closer together to create a possible double.
We've seen this a lot of times this week. First of all, teams taking a cautious approach to the end. And then we were often end up with a situation where the team with last stone has a chance to score 2, and they just need to keep them separated. And you'll see the other team try and group them, so we'll see the hit and rolls. And not very often a big miss like this, but He will be able to at least remove the red, but there's the 2 gone. Had to stick around with that one. Italy a chance to hit the other yellow.
Oh, and won't be able to stick around with that, Sebastiano Arman.
Sebastiano Arman, he was a 5th man at the Europeans. Come on as 3rd, replacing the too old Andrea Pilser. Someone might know from previous junior championships. But he's on the bench as a coach.
And with this house now wide open and that red stone acting like a corner guard, fairly far out, but Yannick Schwaller, who is skipping and playing 3rd for the Swiss team, can draw it to the wing here.
It's a good draw that. Not completely covered, but certainly makes this hit a bit more difficult. If Italy wrecked on the centre guard earlier, surely they have the chance to do it here again. But it seems like they're in control of this one. Passes the red and gets the roll over towards the centre line. That's a good start by Sebastiano Arman, who got to play 1 game at the Europeans. He played Turkey, winning 8-7.
You're just full of facts.
Too much, I would say.
Just, you know everything. I'm impressed. And could you then also tell us about the father of Yannick Schwaller?
Sure. Father of Yannick Schwaller, a very known player. Christoph Schwaller, also the brother of Andy Schwaller. They played together. Bronze medal, I believe, in 2002 Olympics in Salt Lake City.
Do you think it's an advantage to have famous curling relatives?
Yeah, I think so. Just because you learn a lot from your parents. So I think sometimes it's probably a bother too, because your parents are always going to be there and they're probably going to know more than you, and it's going to be a bit of a hassle sometimes, but generally speaking, I think it's a good thing, at least for the junior years, and then you can push away your father and get a new coach when you enter the senior level. You see that happen a few times. Christoph Schwaller played the juniors himself. He lost out to Norwegian silver medalist at the Olympics in Vancouver, Thomas Ilsrud, in a bronze final of the juniors in 1988.
And I can tell you this, Sander is not even looking at his computer right now. He knows all of this by heart. But this is the escape of the Italian team. Amos Musaner. Need to make the yellow go away. Not a problem. Fourth player for Switzerland is Reto Keller. Won't roll quite all the way out behind cover. Italy could try and find cover behind the guard here to force a one, where they could be careful to avoid the jam and just be safe, roll out to the middle, and let Switzerland blank. Final zone for Italy in the first end. Roll into the middle. And only one shot left. We definitely know what Switzerland want to do then. Just get rid of the red, roll out and blank. Need to make sure not to stick this on the red behind the house, but they should be well in control. This is the last stone of the first end. Switzerland want to blank. Also avoids the jam, and there you go. No stones in the rings, and a blank on the board. When an end is blank, it's the same team that gets to keep hammer, so Italy will start once again. And I think they're probably going to put up a center guard one more time. What do you think?
I'd think so, if they did that in the first end. It's just normal for them to do it in the second. And it looks like this one will stop short of the house. Whoopee, whoopee.
Whoopee! And why are you saying that, Sander?
Well, we might get some stones in play here. Although, you might have seen Switzerland put up the corner guard, but there's no guarantee of that.
No, we've seen quite a lot of the teams put up the corner guard even when the center guard is in play. What's the reason for doing that, and why would you come around like the Swiss are doing now?
Well, so sometimes you feel it's probably better to be the first one around the centre guard here. Just come top four, make sure your opponent doesn't get there first. And it feels like sometimes when we see teams put up the corner guard in this situation, they never tend to use it because all the play ends up behind the centre guard anyway. So I think you see most teams probably put this top four around the centre, but coming back 8 here is not the best thing really.
No, leaving the come around in that attractive spot in front of the T line for Italy.
So even though you like to play to the wings when they have last stone, as long as you're sitting a couple behind the centre guard, you're happy. But when all of a sudden it's not looking so good, you'll probably see Switzerland try and break it up here.
It's a really nice come around by Roberto.
Yeah, a lot better. And we'll see Schwaller call for a backline weight here, just trying to come around the centre guard and tap the shot stone back. Most important thing really, just move it off the 1 foot. But pretty straight down the spot. So it's going to have to be very tight to the guard. Going straight past is not the plan B.
No, quite a lot of weight on that, but definitely get some movement, open up the 4 foot.
That'd be nice to hang around there. Don't think he will. I was close to perfect. But you know, if Switzerland would be lying 2 there, not sure if Italy would have been so ballsy to come around the centre guard once more. They might have started to hit the back ones, and
Yeah, certainly not. Leaving more than one opponent stone in the rings when you don't have hammer, even if it's a good situation to come behind the guard, it's always a bit uncomfortable. Still very nice weight, but it is the straighter side of the sheet. Won't get as much curl as they need to get buried.
Swiss say hack a lot better than we do.
Why? Why do you think it's better?
I just like the
The
yeah, not that sound.
I believe that was Italy.
So waiting for this one to swing a wee bit. It's pretty much the same result here. But we'll jam on the red one.
Yep.
Lying shot, however. And again, Italy doesn't feel like there's too much risk just coming around here.
Still just waiting for the right line. And just enough to sit shot. How many times do you think we're going to see this situation repeat itself?
I don't know. It's going on forever.
Okay, so Schwaller want to push this straight back. Could be trouble on this side. It's not really moving a lot.
It's definitely possible to make the shot and stick around. Just been catching him a bit too thin every time. And we're going to see the same once more. But this time, I think Italy is going to be lying shot.
Just a pile of yellows to the right and a pile of reds to the left. And as you said, now it is Italy with a shot stone.
Yeah,
So no real risk for them to come around anymore. And this one is definitely curling more.
Oh no, there's a break in the pattern.
I don't know what to do then. I'm so used to doing commentary too. The come around and the tap back. Unfortunate break for Italy there.
Well,
I'm not sure it's very beneficial for Swiss to hit there though. They might just want to come around themselves.
the treble would be on, but that top red's just jamming on the yellow all day. So, as you say, though, those red stones they're not really any danger for Switzerland. They're in the back, all in the open on the left hand side.
And on the 8 foot, it's not really pressuring Switzerland a lot. If they want to score one, they can just score one. So might as well try and set themselves up for something more. enough to be shot, but not in a very dangerous position for Italy either. Even without hammer, they can still draw down to this, or even sit in front of the tee line and make it more difficult for Switzerland. We'll come down to outcount the yellow, but everything is still behind the tee line. Could maybe set 3 here, Switzerland. Don't think the first red is really going to go anywhere, but they could make sure that it moves out of 4th position. That is a great shot by Yannick Schwaller. Believe they are sitting 3. And Mosaner just gonna come down to this one more time, put 1 on the tee line.
I don't know how the angles are here. if you play a nose hit on the top yellow, does the 2 back go?
Well, I think there's a guard in the way.
Ah, is there? Well, going to play the freeze then, but I don't think just tapping out the 1 yellow would have been too bad for Mosaner. Line's the most important thing here, though. Needs to lie right on the nose of the yellow. But this one's over curling.
Oh, just needed to sit then.
Where is this going to go? Going to freeze the back yellow. Is it good enough for second shot though? It might be.
I think it's for second shot, but it's not going to be hard for Switzerland to sit 2.
Yep, so I think they're just going to draw here. Maybe top 8 between behind the guard. Not even fully covered, I think. Maybe just half checked. So the draw they're playing here kind of covers the back yellows as well. If you overcurl the shot here fully hidden, you might get Mosaner playing maybe a head and roll off the back yellows.
Really good line.
Maybe a bit deep though. Right on the tee line. Pulls up in time.
Yeah, but with a good freeze here from Mosaner, it could be difficult for them to score 2.
Yeah, I think it's just good enough for Mosaner not to be shots. Unless he goes the other way. And looks like he will. That makes good sense. Come this way. corner freeze, relying shot.
Yeah, rather than coming from the wide side and sitting second, leaving the pin for Switzerland to get a deuce. Can't afford to make a mistake with this one. Really curling now. Need to be all the way down, need to be past the guard.
I think we're in.
Oh, they're on it.
Well, definitely 2 for Switzerland just now, and so a draw for 3.
Yeah.
I think they might just be happy with 3 here.
Well, you're normally happy with 3, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Tough break for Mosaner.
So I'm just going to come down the same path as Mosaner. In between the reds, down into the forefoot. It could be a nice score 3 for Switzerland.
Yep, last stone of the second end, and Reto Keller and Switzerland, they have a draw for 3, but this is hanging wide. Need to curl to get past the reds. Oh, and this is going to wreck all day.
Should have swept that one. Could have ticked off the first one.
And lucky break for Italy. They only give up 2. This means Switzerland is off to a 2-0 lead after 2 ends.
Haven't seen Swiss boys in the playoffs the last few years. Last time we had a properly good team from Switzerland, we had Peter de Cruz. He won the Worlds here 4 years ago in Flims. And the year after in Perth, Scotland, 2011, they lost the final to Oscar Eriksson. And now they're a pretty good team, one of the best teams in Europe. Might go to Worlds if they win the Swiss Championships. It starts on Monday, so they have to fence off Olympian Sven Michael, obviously.
Yeah, World Juniors is just a great place to start and get that international experience that can get you moving on to the top of the world, even at senior level. Italy now down by 2, playing corner guard. So center guard coming down. Want this quite tight to the rings, and make sure you cover the side that's towards the corner guard if you're not going to cover the entire stone. And this one's a bit deep, so they're going to try and bring it all the way down. It's a nice option B. Gets a freeze instead, makes it difficult to remove both.
Yeah. The Downside is that Italy can play a hit on the nose here, and it'll stay perfectly frozen on the top one. Get rid of the back one.
Yeah, but needs to be exactly nose.
Looks like they're looking for the roll though. They're going to roll too far. This is a missed lane call from Ozana.
Yeah, well played by Arman.
And now Switzerland's just going to take off the corner guard. Obviously in the lead by 2 points. They're not going to mess around too much.
Nope, they just need to prevent Italy from scoring more than one. And if they can take the corner guard off, I think we're going to see a pretty open end after this. Oh, but he is just nosing it actually.
Yeah.
It's a yellow guard in front instead of a red, but still a corner guard. Hitting and rolling again here. It is a very straight spot. And it's looking like a really open end this third. Italy could make a move and draw behind the corner. But first of all, Switzerland needs to make contact with the red. They will just enough to spill it out. And now we're going to see the come around. Oh, this is looking a bit pacey. Will it even sit down? Just in time, and I believe it's also buried. Leaves a bit of a tricky situation for the Swiss.
I think I would try to come down after this one, just tap it out. Maybe just roll to the open. Just with a through ring weight. Hack. A lot of room between the guard and the red stone in the house. So hack.
Thanks for translating. Do you just want to try and say it the Swiss
I really
way
want
because
to,
you
but
like
I'm afraid
to?
to.
Yeah. Just go for it.
I'll have a bit of practice in a halftime break.
Okay, we'll hear it. Sander speaking Swiss-German in the second half of the game. Big scrub now. They want to be tight to the guard, but they don't want to be on the guard, and they are.
It doesn't keep his shooter around either. Spins all the way through the house.
Italy have that chance of splitting the rings or drawing another one behind the corner. So it's now very, very wide. Either way, the most important thing is that they don't leave a double.
Well, I like this call. Could potentially score a 3 with this one.
Yeah, just need to make sure that you actually get in the amount of curl that you need so that there's no easy double available.
It's a tougher shot, bigger risk. Drawing the open wing is a lot easier, but Only scored 2 with that. Mosaner panicking. Doesn't have the line yet. Just needs to curl, but I don't think it's looking too bad.
No, as long as they hide the inside, they should be fine. And that's a really nice shot.
Right. Maybe a foot too deep. Because now Schwaller's going to come down, I think, just with a freeze. Maybe try and tap the one out.
So still with a quiet weight. Want to hit the red just played by Italy and roll out to sit in front of the back red. Oh, I think he tried to get it on the back one instead.
Well, takes off the top one. Same shot left for Italy if they want to play it.
And now there's even that back red to worry about for Switzerland. And once again panicking, waiting for the curl, but looks like it's coming. Now the sweepers just need to work to get it in a good place. It looks like they have good weight. And is there maybe a double on now? Yep, didn't curl enough. Now definitely an opportunity for Reto Keller to get rid of both. No double for the Swiss. Instead, it's an open hit for Mosaner to sit 2. Gets the nose hit, and it's a very, very steep angle to get rid of both of the red. Still an attempt. This is really, really thin. just over, and Amos Mosaner has the entire 12 foot to score 2. Last zone of the third end. Italy and Amos Mosaner with a draw for 2. I think that means you need everything on the blue.
Maybe.
Maybe my Italian is absolutely terrible. Either way, they do score 2. And it's a tied game after 3 ends. 2-2 between Italy and Switzerland. Sander, what else is going on in the World House Arena?
The curling, you mean?
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
if you have any other interesting facts, feel free.
There's a bit of cheering going on in the stands, but when it comes to the games, looks like Austria might push for a second win so far this week. They took one in first, and after a blank in second, they stole one more in third, leading 2-0 over the United States. Canada with a 2-1 lead over China. Sweden also with a 2-1 lead against Russia. And on the sheet just next to us, the very exciting matchup between the reigning world champions Scotland and the only undefeated team so far this week from Norway. It's 2 each after Scotland stole 2 in the first. Norway took 2 in second. Looking for the centre guard again here, Italy.
You want to force the play down the centre line and close down the scoring area for Switzerland, and that sure is a very tight centre guard. Could also very easily be run into any yellow that comes around.
Yeah, just as tight as the centre guard we had in the second end. Switzerland scored 2 then. That's when we had the whole tap and roll, tap and roll, tap and roll pattern all the way
I
through.
wonder if we're going to see that again. Another good thing for Italy, when you put the centre guard this close, it means that you might force your opponent to draw down deeper in the rings to get buried. This one is back 4 foot.
That's a bit of a mistake there. Back the force, no good. Maybe better just wrecking on the centre guard here. Tap it into the house. You might hit it with your next one.
Oh, this is way out there. Looked like he was a little bit out of balance in the slide, but it's just diving in towards the centre now.
Yeah, there is a bit of curl on this side of the sheet.
Like, especially when you come that wide, it just kind of slides in.
Yeah, it's almost like it grabs more curl when you come a bit wide. Maybe catches some fresh pebble. And obviously when when the sweepers don't even touch it, tends to finish all a bit. So ends up in a nice spot, frozen onto the yellow.
Yeah, and Switzerland now drawing around the other side, and we do know that this is a bit more difficult because curl isn't as even. It's straighter, but still kind of draws in towards the centre line once you get close. Bit too much weight on that as well, and there's now a really big pocket behind the 1 foot. Okay, so line is good. Now they need this all the way down. There is a pocket there. Might as well use it. Won't make it all the way down for shot. Still not in the bad position. Switzerland now deciding it's time to get rid of center guard. Open it up in the middle.
I think they wanted to run this down and pick off the top red as well. But that was the main thing. So I just want to tap the red one up here. Just make sure you don't put too much weight on this one. Seems like just a common mistake to put a bit of extra weight on your draw when you're tapping these stones. You really don't have to.
No, the stones are quite lively. They won't lose a lot of weight when you tap them.
And besides, you have the sweepers as well that might want to do a little bit.
Oh, need to curl, need to make it to nose.
Looking heavy too. This is almost a hack weight.
Yeah.
It's not a horrible result, but again, just no point in overthrowing that one.
Want to clean this up now. Don't really matter if they spill their own. It's just important to make sure that they have a way into the forefoot. Wittschonk removes the front stone and the one just on the button opens up the forefoot, but leaves two Italian stones in play. Mosaner chooses to ignore the shot yellow stone and roll in off the wide one, keep three in play. Not getting the roll, and Switzerland can now hit to set two. Yannick Schwaller with a hit here. It's really, really important to stick around and also keep it right in front of the red. He might have left a double because it's not really angled in the right way. If that was just angled the other way, it would have been so much harder for Italy to get rid of both.
We've seen the Italians throw some hard ones this week. We haven't had a broadcast game with them, but I've looked over and I've seen bullets like this a lot. But again, accuracy though, just more important.
I may be focusing a bit too much on playing it hard rather than putting it to the broom.
Typical junior mistake.
You would never do that, Sander.
No. That was lead.
Okay.
I never got the chance to play a double. No, just focusing on putting too much weight on it, and usually the accuracy kind of dwindles away.
Hitting and rolling off the high one. They could just draw one as well to try and set up their deuce. Yannick Schwaller with the hit again. Really would like to roll, would be very good if they could sit too. He will hit it on the nose, so that means that Mosaner can get rid of the best yellow stone and sit too, and if he can avoid a double, he might force Switzerland into taking one. And this one's found some curl. Or they may be rolling the other way now. Really important to hang around. Enough to still sit too, but they're very close together, so don't think it'll be a problem for Keller to remove both of them, and then the deuce might still be on for the Swiss.
Yeah, only good thing for Mosaner is the yellows will be on a line, so he will get a double attempt back to try and save the end.
Need them both. And that's going to be good enough. Doesn't need to remove it as long as they keep sitting two. 'Cause I think it's going to be very difficult for Mosaner to make the double and stay around.
Might have been a good thing keeping that red one around. If he should hit this one on the inside, he might jam it on the red. There might be 3 points in play for Switzerland. Now I think we're going to see a bullet from this guy. There we go. Holy. Big weight here.
A whole lot of weight. First. Ooh.
Whoa. Again. Just throwing way too much weight.
And not really controlling where you're aiming. Oh dear. Just flashes everything except their own. And what could have been trouble for Switzerland is now an open house draw for 3.
I did hear that comment from from a certain person here this week that they've just been seeing Italy just throwing them left and right, just super hard, but not making much. A few times I've looked over, I think they've been making a few doubles here and there, but it's clear that maybe we're not controlling those upweight shots as much as they think they do. Mozana was even a bit upset with his second, overthrowing his one when he didn't make it. It does the same thing himself. And it's 3 for Switzerland. There we go.
Yeah, that was what we will call a very cheap 3.
Yes, cheap indeed.
And after 4 ends, Switzerland leading the game against Italy 5-2.
Yeah, I'm also junior sometimes. Not always.
So Italy need to regroup here. They need to find some good flow and work themselves back in the game. I think Switzerland are feeling pretty safe now. They are 3 points up. Only 1 end to go before the halftime break. If they can limit Italy to a score of 1 here, they are definitely going to be in the driver's seat for the second half of the game.
È lassù. Sì. Linea buona, 2 più.
So I said that I think Italy's going to make the playoffs this year, but I'm not really seeing the qualities I thought they had, or still think they have. Been making a lot of mistakes and a few overthrown upweight shots in the previous end, just not even close.
Well, no, we've seen them play really well. It's just because you can throw it really hard doesn't mean you need to. It's just a couple of missed peels. But unfortunately, those misses were very punishing. They're now down by 3.
Now we're going to see a different approach from Mozana, which I like. Had the exact same setup in the third end. And then they tried a hit and roll and until Switzerland ended up rolling out, so they had the free draw on the corner guard, but now they're just trying to tap the yellows back.
Yeah, when you're down by 3, you just want to keep stones in play and make use of them. But this is over curling majorly and try to get a touch and maybe hang around and back.
Good weight.
Yep, gotta give him that. And
good sweeping too, I guess.
Yeah, good call to rub off that yellow and stick around.
It's kind of hard to be a skip there and to communicate. It's like, do you let it go and hope it stops, or just continue to sweep and
well, I think also hoping it stops, it was going to over curl and just be open and trying to get it behind the corner guard there instead.
Mozaner didn't seem too happy.
No, this is both wide and heavy. It is a corner guard by Ferrasa. Very far out. Again, nosing that corner guard.
He's trying to roll in there. Schwaller tried to make a quick decision and sweeping it to get it on the other side and roll out. Or maybe they were actually trying to slash double. He was proposing both options anyway for his teammates.
No chance of tap back here.
They've overcurled in this spot already. This one now working it really hard. Pretty sure it's not going to stay on the O's. It's going to roll right in front of their own red, and it's going to be a double attempt for Switzerland.
Yeah, but they are sitting second and third shot. Try to make them both go away. Yannick Schwarler, skip of the Swiss team. And third player. Yes and no normally means it's good. What has he got? He's got them both.
Super shot there by Mr. Schwaller. But leaves a little bit of a pocket here. I think the Italian's going to try and come down here.
I don't want to tap this too much. Just want to sit right in the hole between them, actually.
Yeah, I think better the freeze here than tapping it too far. I'm not sure if Mozaner indicated that well enough, and he didn't take a lot of ice either, really, for the shot. In the same spot, they overcurled twice now in this end.
Doesn't look too bad, this. Gonna try and move this across the yellow to get rid of the red. Playing this on the curling side.
Are they trying to get it off their own?
Yeah, they were. Just over curls. I think they could have gotten it with the outturn, but just lost the other yellow. Still sitting too, though. Gonna try and lock another one on here. Could be possible for the Italians to set up something good, but really, really need to work to get this all the way down. It's looking well short. How far can they drag it? Not really where they would have wanted.
How are you?
Doing good. We're 2-2. Yeah. Hanging around for a couple days, or
Just pick this top one off. If they were really bold, they could guard the situation. They are sitting 2.
Aye, but if they're ever over curl, there's a double on, and Italy might do it in like 3.
Oh, and on the straight side now. Oh.
Close to making a double themselves, and now he's not even able to pick off the red one, and now the double is on for Italy to like 3. If they want to play it.
Just want to hit in between the yellow and the red here. And not getting both yellow out, but it's not a bad result. They're sitting frozen on the shot stone. 3 reds in the rings. So just need a little roll here to avoid leaving an easy double for Italy.
Yeah, pretty much needs to roll right next to the yellow, frozen onto the yellow. If there's any gap between them, I think Mozanner is able to run his down and double him.
The hit there, and
yeah, rolls a bit too far and leaves this gap, and it's pretty much a nose hit here for 3.
played it really well. It's not a lot of centimeters. That's the difference between perfect and trouble.
So need to make this window. There's 3 down here, Mozanner. Really love to score 3 back and tie the game up. Looking close. And there we go. 3 for Italy.
But they are only putting 2 on the board.
Are they?
Maybe that back yellow one out counted the red on the top.
I didn't even see the back one.
I think it must have, because teams have agreed, and it's 5-4 to Switzerland as we head into the half-time break. We're going to be back with some highlights just before the second half of the game.
Yeah, so just correction, it's not 3 for Italy in the 5th, only 2. So that's corrected now, so 5-4 in favour of Switzerland. Could do a quick update on the other sheets as well between United States and Austria. They have 2 points each after 5. Canada leads China at 4 shots to 2. Sweden leads Russia at 3 shots to 2. And Scotland's picked up another steal of 2. Now 5 shots to 2 over the only undefeated team so far, Norway. So we're going to take a look at the highlights from the first 5 ends. second end between Switzerland and Italy. Already lying to the Swiss boys. It's the last stone for fourth player Reto Keller, but doesn't curl enough to get through the port, so only the two for Switzerland after two ends. And the third, Italy strikes back, already lying to one. A pretty open draw for Skip Amos Mozaner. Just put this one in the rings to tie it up at 2 each after 3. And the fourth, Mozaner tried to double on the two yellows on the side. Completely fresh, only taking off one of his own reds, leaving a easy draw for 3. Swiss boys leads 5-2 after 4. Good chance to come back in the game here for the Italians. Skip Mozaner just looking for a nose hit double that we thought was for 3, but there's a back yellow there, meaning the score is only for 2. Switzerland leads the game 5-4. And we're just ready for the 6th end. So teams had a 5-minute break just to talk to their coach and maybe have a few snacks and a drink. I think maybe they're looking for our guard here, the Italians. But goes into the house, no harm, no foul. Switzerland goes for this corner guard. And why do they play the corner guard now, Sarah? They're already in the lead.
Well, Michael Probst for Switzerland is putting up this corner guard because it is the 6th end. They are playing well. We just feel they could put some extra pressure on Italy by going for another score in the 6th. Of course, you'd really do like to score in the even ends in a 10-end game.
Yeah, I don't mind the Swiss guys are going for 2 here, but you probably see them be a little bit cautious, just making sure that they're at least going to score here.
Yeah, there's no not really any reason to get in too much trouble, but very early in the end can definitely put the corner guard up. And Roberto Arman, he will slip into the rings with the second one as well. I'd like to roll behind the corner guard. We'll roll all the way off instead. Would like this in front of the rings now. Ferrazza. And this is quite high instead, and even over curling a bit, leaving the shot stone exposed, but still good for them to have a centre guard that could be useful for the Italians.
Good thing they're only showing the left-hand side of the shot zone here, though.
Yeah, I don't really want to give Switzerland the opportunity to roll behind the corner guard. Patrick Wittschonke is the second player for the Swiss team. Ooh, and that won't help them. And now that stone is even better than it was before. All the way on the forefoot, covering the path to the button. Italy now going to guard on the outturn side. So cleanup time. Vichonke would like to get rid of as much red as possible. But I don't really think he put that to the broom. Overcurled quite a lot. Turning into a really well set up end for Italy after that miss. They can now keep guarding Sebastiano Arman. Like to keep big separation in between the guards. And we've heard that sound from Mosaner before. It normally comes when he's not very happy.
Yeah, usually over means a overcurl guard, although it does do sort of a job that stone. Should have covered the tight guard though. Looks like the Swiss will be able to make a play on it. Eight.
8. We've got all the words for 8.
Yep.
So this would probably mean 8 seconds rather than 8 foot.
Yes, 8 seconds from hog line to hog line, I imagine. Meaning the line you have to let go of the stone before, and the line where the stone has to travel past to be in play.
I mean, 8 seconds would be quite a lot of weight, a bit harder than a normal takeout for Yannick Schwaller, but maybe not a maximum amount of weight, which should be a couple of seconds harder. I'll drive it by the shot stone.
Yeah, but just enough weight to make sure he rolls off when he doesn't make the double. Do it means
2.
yes. So
And that's probably a guard.
Yep. You'll see most teams divide the playing zone into 10 different zones. 1, 2, and 3 will be guards. 2 a halfway guard.
Oh, off now. Don't let it overcurl.
It's pretty good.
There's definitely no way for Switzerland to get in behind the corner. It's quite high, so they could maybe reach it with backline, but remember, there's not a lot of curl here. I think they're playing the double on the guard here instead. Trying to get rid of both of the reds. It could maybe even direct it onto the one in the rings, but it's a lot of separation for that.
Calling the big shot here, Schwaller. Sounds close. Just quite a bit too thick.
Yeah, and it actually stays there as a guard.
Well, did at least move it over a wee bit.
Yeah, but Mosaner can just put another guard on there now and it'll be double guarded still. They've been talking about bringing this into the rings. Want to make sure they bury a bit, at least a little bit, not to leave a double. Almost Mosaner skip of the Italian team. And if they bring this in, they definitely need to tuck a piece. Well, they will leave it in front. In a good line as well. Once again, gonna try and get rid of both of the guards. Want to make sure it's open so that they can get to the shot stone both ways with their last. Reto Keller looking for the double. And makes a good shot, but now instead leaves two. Just look at this again. It directs onto the shot one, and the other one comes in off the yellow corner guard.
Yeah, a bit unlucky there. Straight jam it. So just trying to find the best spot for this last shot, Mosaner. Maybe even try and steal here.
Just going to tap this up a little bit. They know if they guard it, the draw for one is still a bit too easy, so they would rather have Reto Keller playing a double with his last. Going to try and force it by tapping this one down. Just want to tap this to the T line, top button. Trying to keep the line. Need to go all the way down. And how far will they now move this? All the way into the forefoot, and it's not easy to go just direct for the shot stone and staying there, so I think they're just going to go for the nose hit double. Just a nose hit will do the job, will allow Switzerland to score 1. They will also give them a 2-point lead. But facing 3 with this one, Reto Keller. Last stone of the 6th end. Looks like it's going to be really good. 1, 2, yep. Yellow is closest. Switzerland in some big trouble, but manages to clear it up and score 1 in the 6th to give them a 2-point lead. There you see the score. After 6 ends, Switzerland 6, Italy 4. And Austria, they're leading the game over the USA 4-2. Canada has a 4-3 lead over China, and they also have last stone in the 6th end. Sweden has a 4-2 lead over Russia, and Scotland still with a 5-2 lead over Norway. So 7th end about to get started here, and if Switzerland could limit Italy to only taking 1, I think they're going to be very happy. But Italy's been good at generating situations where they have possibilities of multiple scoring. But I think Mosaner would rather... No, of course, it's a corner guard. Almost thought he was going to blank because of the way he was placed in the house. But Roberto Arman putting up the corner guard, and they're going to need to work to get it as far down as possible.
Yeah, it's a nice corner guard. Seen a few curl a bit too much out to the side. I think this one's in a nice spot. He'll be filled 12 if you come around this one now, so it's a good start.
Definitely. They almost generated a score of 3 last time they had hammer. Could sure use one now.
That's pretty good. Nice setup play here. 2 stones in front of the tee line, perfectly lined up.
And doesn't try and make it all by himself either. He just gives her sweepers some good material and then let them place it. It's kind of nice to see. Italy has gone back to their hitting and rolling strategy. Still think that tapping this early in the end might be a better call to make sure that you keep some stones in play.
Yeah, I like that. Just not getting very far with this tactic, although maybe he thinks that, well, I'm going to give it a slight go here. And if we don't get the 2, just blank it, and I might go a bit harder in the 8th end, maybe.
Yeah, maybe, but then you could either go defensive or go for it. Some sort of in-between way.
It's nice to be patient, but you can't wait for too long. Well, it doesn't get a mistake here, though. Now it's pretty open, so it's pretty much a free draw in the corner guard. There we go.
Yep. Maybe he can see into the future. Molsaner. This one a bit wide right now, needs to come down, needs to find some curl. It's also got a lot of weight. Not quite enough for Schwaller to sweep it the entire way through. And it's even good enough to be shot stone. So Switzerland going for the hit on the back one. It's still quite open. It's perfectly fine to miss this the tight way and clip off the guard. And judging on the sweepers. Don't think so. What did you say, Sander?
No, we did see that happen in the 3rd end, but just feather off the guard. He couldn't move it far enough this time. Gets away with the takeout. Still leaves the draw, however. And the Italians will be looking to place this one even better. It's hard to place it worse, though, but...
Well, yeah, without being all the way through the rings. Like to keep this a bit higher, come a bit closer to the guard, get it behind cover. This one really curling now. Is it even too soft? We'll wreck on the guard instead. Won't make it to the rings. And you might have jinxed him there, Sander. Schwaller just making sure if he makes the double this way that the red won't stick on the yellow. Don't think that's going to happen, so double attempt coming here. They might need to go for the other option instead. Oh, and misses that one too.
Just by a fraction, though.
They've been a bit, but they've not really been there with their doubles. This game close a lot of the time, both teams, but not 100%.
We'll choose to play the in-turn draw here. Just come around the wrong guard. hard split. They might be doing a plan B here.
Try and get both the reds in the house.
Well, this one's really over curling.
Not really working for the Italians at the moment.
No, it's been very sloppy. Ramos Massaner's just sounding a little upset. Maybe he should try and encourage his teammates rather than pecking at them.
It's always a good thing to encourage your teammates. Especially when you're down, it might be even more important to try and get a good feeling in the team. And we are in the second half of the game. I'm looking forward to hearing your Swiss. You were practicing some Swiss words
Oh, I
in
forgot.
the halftime break. Schwaller don't need to worry about any doubles right now. Can just take this red one and stick. Just manages to hang around. And as long as he can do that, he will keep Italy from blanking, but Massaner will now try and get a draw behind the top yellow, because it kind of works as a corner guard if they get a good one in here. Got it by. They need to get it as deep as possible to get it buried. It's a nice draw. I think Switzerland can still see about half of the stone, so they are going to try and pick it off. Soft weight from Keller. Needed a finesse shot to pick the red one out. Of course, he would also like to stick his shooter to make sure he keeps pressure on Massaner. That's the most important thing, and removes the red.
Yeah, lying too though. Still Switzerland, so surely Italy's going to score here, and if the Swiss boys can keep him to 1, they'll be quite happy. But the last chance here for Massaner to come around the corner guard, try and set up a deuce, a skips deuce, that would be.
Well, any deuce will work. They would look good on the board for Italy if they could score 2 right now.
It's very seldom you get a Leeds deuce.
Yeah, well, could happen.
Can't remember if I've made that happen.
I know when I was playing lead, if my stone was the one that gave us the point, I was always extra proud. Still now at second. And the curl's starting to break there. If they're gonna score, skips deuce. They need to hide this. I don't think they will. It's gonna be another, probably more than half open takeout for Keller. be never. But starting to curl. Really important to get rid of the red.
I think that's good enough. Will roll out, but Switzerland still lying 2, so I can't really see them do anything else than drawing here to score the 1. And then you'd probably expect Italy to be a little bit aggressive in the 8th end, try and steal maybe.
Yeah, I expect we should see a similar end to the 6th. Mosaner in the hack with the final stone of the 7th end. Just need to get all of it in the 12 foot to score 1. And by doing so, he will close in on Switzerland. Scoring 1 to just be down by 1. And 3 ends to go. They're going to need to be aggressive. And they would love to get a steal on the board. After 7 ends, it's Switzerland leading the game against Italy 6-5. If you have any questions for us or comments about our webcast, feel free to post them on Twitter. Just use hashtag WJCC2014 and we'll do our best to answer all of your questions. You can also check out World Junior Curling Championships on Facebook. You see the hashtag there one more time, WJCC 2014. As Italy has put up the center guard and Switzerland are now going to draw around.
Oh, this one's hanging out there. It's not going to come back a whole lot. Well, maybe. It does enough to stick around. Well, Switzerland rolls out as well.
And they would love to create a situation where they could score 2, but as long as they keep it simple enough so that they can score 1, they're still in very good shape. Coming round the outturn side. Italy's going to work really hard to steal the 8th end. Even if they limit Switzerland to only scoring 1, they're still going to need to take 2 in the 9th end and then probably steal in the 10th. Not the double, but takes off the center guard. And the center guard is what Italy needs to steal.
Yeah, if they could just keep putting the center guard in the right spot, could be a steal for the Italians. When you're 1 down in the 8th, a steal would certainly taste good for Italy. Don't want to bring this one too close either.
No, looks good for weight. They just need to curl a little bit more.
Well, not quite enough. They're going to just take off the guard. Going to wait for a better opportunity to remove the shot zone here. Because it's in a very nice spot, this red one. So as soon as Swiss boys have a chance to move it, they should really pounce at it.
Yeah, it's really in a perfect place. If Switzerland ever had to draw for 1, it's going to be really difficult to do it with that in the way. It's a good attempt as well, but will over curl a little bit, and there is now a chance to get at the shot zone. It's actually not that important to keep replacing guards. Sooner or later, you might get a mistake like that.
Now, what's the tolerance for this shot, Sarah?
Well, you certainly would rather clip the guard than miss this wide. Then Italy can put another guard up and you're never going to get to it. But then again, this might be the mistake that they're going to get, so would rather not miss it at all. The best thing, of course, if they can get to the shot zone in the rings.
So you're saying the best thing to do in curling is make the shots you're calling?
Yes, it's always the best thing. And they're definitely not going to miss it wide.
Played a lot more weight than I was expecting here. It's going to be tough to stick around, but they are. That's a really nice shot.
Yeah, and it's definitely complicating things by sticking around, because Italy really can't afford to lose 2. If they lose 1, there's still a game to play. But if they hit, they're not going to steal.
Yeah, looked at playing the draw first there, Mozaner, but doesn't want to take the risk. He's just going to curl enough though. Really needs to stick around, make Switzerland at least make the hit themselves. Just enough. And Mozaner can hope that the Swiss boys rolls out here. Allow him a free draw around the centre guard.
Really want to stick around with this as well, otherwise Italy will just be able to draw around the guard again.
Yeah, big mistake there, rolling out from Schwaller. Just what Mozana was hoping for, really. Still a chance to steal now.
And he is playing a great come around.
Yeah, line's pretty much perfect, but centre guard is sort of long, so there is a chance for a Keller to come around here. I think this is the best chance to get at it. Don't think you want to clip the centre guard here. Italy's just going to put on a better one, so a bit surprised that they're going at it this way. Thought you might get more curl on the outturn.
Yeah, so do I.
And it looks like, if anything, you'll see a piece on the right hand side, although it looks pretty much dead buried.
I think it's very much behind the guard, but they have elected to play on the straight side.
Has been able to get a little bit of curl. I think it curls a bit more when you cross the centre line. Looking really close. Needs to go past the guard here.
Oh,
it just rubs off. That's
And
pretty much the worst thing you could do.
yeah, you either want to hit the guard properly or the stone in the rings. Just touched the guard enough to redirect, but didn't really move it.
That is unlucky, and as you see, the stone's pretty much buried still. A chance for Mozana to get one more in there and lie to and put some real pressure on Keller. Things are heating up.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Switzerland scores, to be honest.
Well, the button's open. Looking why this one needs to finish.
You don't really want to leave a double, make it easier for Switzerland.
Coming now, though. I think that might be enough. The question is what you do here now if you're Switzerland. Do you come on down and maybe tap one out, give up one, or do you draw the 1 foot? Don't think you can see enough here to make the double.
No, but are they will score one if they tap, right?
It seems like they're going to play the same shot. Come down and tap the shot stone and try and stick for one.
I would maybe want to keep the weight down a little bit. The first one did go all the way to the hack. And if they want to stick there for one, they can't really play a lot of weight.
There's a chance yeah, exactly. You just might catch it too thin, roll out. Give a stale of 2. You might even curl so much you get the top red and feather off that, and you'll just spin out. So be really careful here. 8th end, last on for Switzerland, leading by 1 point, but some pressure on him here. 2 reds in the forfeit. Well, this one needs to curl. Not on the center line yet. Well, I'm not sure if this is going to stick around. Oh, this is right past. That's a steal of 2 for Italy. Big turnaround here. Wow.
Really big turnaround.
He was unlucky with his first one, Keller. But that second attempt was just nowhere close. And I wonder if it might have been better just playing the draw there.
Well, at least, it's easy to be wise in hindsight. Big steal for Italy, who takes a 7-6 lead after 8 ends.
So there's a bit of interesting development elsewhere in the ball house today for this men's draw. Austria takes one in the 8th end against USA to lead the game 5-4, so pretty tight over there between China and Canada. It looks like Canada is in the lead 7-4. Sweden leads Russia 6-3. And after 2 blank ends in the 5th and 6th end, Norway scores 3 and 7th to tie the game up against Scotland, 5 each. And they're looking pretty solid in the 8th end as well. So really interesting matchup, just next to our sheet on the right here.
And we're seeing a very tight centre guard. Schwaller is also up there looking at it. And they're going to put the biter to this.
It's not very often we see this. Only time you're allowed to measure a stone before the end's finished is to check if a guard's in or not. Obviously, because of the free guard zone, Switzerland would be allowed to hit this one if it's in the rings.
Yeah, and that could allow them to blank.
But I didn't understand, was Italy looking for the centre guard?
Yes.
Why were they sweeping so much in the end?
Maybe they thought it was already in, try to bring all of it in.
Maybe.
I don't know. They were looking for the centre guard, and that would make sense too, because now they can force Switzerland if they put it in front of the rings. We saw some shocking measuring yesterday when Canada thought their stone was in and it was out, so let's see what the umpires say here. And it's going to be out.
Pretty cheeky sweeping, I would say.
Yep. Maybe the sweepers were just in full control and wanted to get Switzerland out of their rhythm. So Switzerland drawing out to the wings. Of course, the reason for that is they want to keep things quite open. They would like to get a chance to blank if they could. They don't really want to get trapped in drawing behind the centre and maybe getting forced to one by Italy. Trying really hard for the roll. Make it halfway. Or roll back out and keep her stone to the side. What's going to happen here? Oh, they're going to roll out. Does this mean we're going to see Switzerland remove the center guard? They are, not too much weight. Going to roll into the rings with a shooter. Patrick Wittschonke is the second player for Switzerland. Just waiting on this to curl. They normally do down the center line here on the intern. And this one does as well. And it's actually a missed line call by Yannick Schwaller. None of the teams really wanting to make a move here. Daniele Ferrassa is going to hit and try and roll back to the center line.
So Schwaller's just called for the clean pick here. He's going to take off the guard, roll out. So we'll see the Swiss guys try and blank here. Keep last stone, try to score 2 in the 10th end.
Oh, but it's a little inwards motion here. Might mean they will over curl.
Yeah, they will, but I don't think Italy's going to make a big move here. I think they're just going to hit this one too. Maybe roll in. Sebastiano Arman, 5th man at the Europeans, came on to replace the aging Andrea Pelser. Too old
Feels really hard to say aging just because you move out of your early 20s.
I'll be fine, I know him.
Yeah, but it feels hard for me.
Oh, okay. Always thinking about yourself. Oh, Pelser played 3rd at the Europeans. Arman was 5th man, came in to play 3rd now for the junior team. And they look quite strong starting off, but then they have wobbled a wee bit, the Italians. Still think they're still have a good chance of making the playoffs though. Along with maybe the 2 biggest favourites right now, Norway and Scotland, which are battling it out on the sheet just next to us. Norway picking up a steal in the 8th, leading 6 shots to 5.
A big turnaround for Norway in that game.
Yeah, I didn't think they were going to be turning that game around so easily against the reigning world champions. So maybe Norway is taking a step up from last year, placing 5th.
And Yannick Schwaller is making his way down to the hack before this one is even stopped. It's a pretty straightforward end so far as tactics goes. I think he just made this one stay out there a bit. As long as it hits the red, he's going to be okay. Italy just going to draw in again. And it's going to be this kind of cat and mouse game until Switzerland's last stone, when they're going to try and blank the end. Keep hammer in the 10th. Fourth player of the Swiss team is Reto Keller. Just want to note that this time we'll play a little bit more weight with this next one and then roll out. But for now, just stick around and make Italy at least play on it. You think Italy could ever just play the freeze here?
They could, but I don't know. Just need to make it so perfect though for them not to blast it. Not sure if it's worth the risk.
But the only risk is
giving up 2.
Giving up 2, and then you're down by 1 and have hammer in the 10th.
True.
Could be worth it just to maybe force the 1.
Yeah. No, definitely. But you haven't seen the Italians take too much risk the last few ends.
No, and this is the final stone of the 9th end. Switzerland just wants to blank, but they want to hit the red first. They will. They're fine, and there is the blank in the 9th end. Exactly what Switzerland wanted. They were really going to keep it open all end long.
Well, you know, the stats say you're better off being one up without a hammer than the other way around, so maybe that's what Mozana was thinking about.
How big are the stats?
Well, just overall the games through the last 3 seasons in men's play, and big championships, tour events, about 57%. So it's pretty much a coin flip, but maybe just tiny bit more chance you might win being one up. And why is that, Sarah?
Well, because you could always just lose 1 point, and then you would have the last stone in the extra end.
Yes. So do you think Italy's going to play just defensively here and just try and force Switzerland to win?
Yeah, they could. They could also just actually go for a steal and try and win the game. But not risk it too much. If they lose one, then that's fine. So keep that in mind. For the game, it's still perfectly okay to let Switzerland take a point. And this time, they are sweeping to get it in the rings. I know that Switzerland need to put up a corner guard. It's not unusual to play the center guard either and try and get your opponent to play down the center line. And absolutely nothing from Probst and from Wetschonke and Keller on that, and it's big mistake in the rings.
It's one of the few times as a lead you have to make your shot. Just cannot miss a corner guard in a 10th end when you're chasing the game, because obviously Italy's just going to hit this one now, and you're not going to be able to take advantage of the free guard zone.
Yeah, it could be their juice out the window, and they're just going to need to make sure that they score one. Unless Italy leaves you a corner guard, which he just did, Roberto Arman.
So I'm going to put up another corner guard here. Switzerland feeling that the red one there is probably not their best bet, meaning because it's red and so close to the house. So might put up a few corner guards here and hope for a miss. Maybe just put this one halfway, not too tight.
Yeah, at least wait a while before they bring their stones into the rings.
Yeah, just wait before you make a move here, making sure your opponent has fewer goals at clearing everything up. So just postponing the attack here.
You can't really nose it again.
Maybe hoping to catch that one a little bit thinner and rip their own bed on the side there. Canada has beaten China 8-4. That game's over. And the same for Sweden. They beat Russia 8-3. Two other games out there are tied. US, Austria at 5 each. Austria with hammer in the 10th might pick up their second win. And Scotland, Norway 6-6. Kyle Smith being forced to win in 9th. Norway has hammer in 10th.
And the corner guard comes up again on our sheet. Mosaner eyeing up the double. He would love to make sure that there are no guards in play.
Will they tap this one in? They will. That's a nice shot. Just brings that one in.
Yeah, really nice. Makes it a lot harder to come around.
Could put a guard in between the reds here. Just there, yeah. Where Schwaller's pointing. Might make it harder for Italy to remove it, with the red ones being catchers. And then you might, and if it doesn't work, you might see them come around the center line stone. Try and use that as a guard. Mozaner's taking up the trumpet. Comes a bit deep though, so I think it's going to be really hard to jam this one on the Reds.
It's pretty much impossible. Unless you play a draw.
Nothing's impossible. Didn't we learn that yesterday?
Well, maybe we did that with some drama. And then the way this end is going, we might see some extra end drama here as well.
Yeah. Rolls all the way to the side, actually lands 3. Not that it really matters. I don't think we'll see Switzerland try and blank the end.
No, that would not make any sense whatsoever.
So we're going to try and put up the same guard again here. Just going to make sure they're outside the house. And if that doesn't work, I think you kind of have to go around the center stone with the skip's first one.
Yannick Schwaller putting up yet one corner guard.
This one's also really heavy. Don't know what they're doing here.
Well, they're not putting up corners.
That's
that one comes really deep. I think they were actually trying to hide it in the end, but it's wide open. Just want to draw around the top red, freeze to the back one, and basically focus on getting a stone in there that's impossible for Italy to remove.
Yeah, it was a bit sloppy that by Italy to leave that shooter. No. Just makes it easier for Switzerland here. Looking pretty close if they can get by the top one. Looking good for Wheat. Just
Really
enough.
good line.
So it was a bit shy on Wheat. Would have liked to glue that one on the back one. Leaves a bit of air. Mozaner looking at the top. It's going to take a timeout here. Just imagine a guy that seems to love throwing these big peels just to run his own red back and spill the out.
Yeah, but still, if you tap this, it might win you the game.
Farla piena.
Sì, la promozione piena. 9 o promozione?
Ma non c'è spazio. Perché se lo entriamo dietro, arrivo qua io Massimo. Non lo prendo. Oh, no, vorrei stare qua, ma.
Allora a quel punto devi provare il rampe.
Sì?
Non la promozione.
La promozione è rischiosa, perché se la promozione non la metti proprio, non la fai proprio giusta.
Beh, ok, sono messa giusta, però stanno sul rosso. Con tutte e due. Sono messa giusta perché tirare rossi stati line. Se esce da verge.
Il problema è che allora tu devi mettere la promozione, ma devi metterla dritta perfetta.
Ma cazzo metti un po'
Sì,
storta,
vabbè, per forza.
È chiaro che con la promozione hai ancora l'altra davanti.
No, è che bisogna ciapparla per l'esterna. Perché è quella lì,
Lo
vedrai?
so, perché c'è quella lì dietro. Tocchiamo la promozione. Perché
Ah,
se no siamo al rampe e rischiamo di cantarla su quella.
No, ma che la vaga se fa in promozione la fa male, Mona.
Resta lì.
Cazzo, resta anche con due sempre.
Basta che non grassa la doppia.
E lo Mona deve venire dentro bene e poi tirare dopo. Da questa o da questa?
So, my Italian certainly isn't the best, but judging by the ice, I think this is a tap. Just want to move the red straight back, sit shot stone, or even put it all the way back to the yellow.
So would you think this is a call to try and win the game here in 10th?
Yeah, I do. I think you could get rid of the yellow, but chances are you're going to roll out and just leave another draw. And this is to make sure they put some pressure on.
Aye, maybe just force a difficult shot from Switzerland.
Oh, but this needs to curl. Or they...
At least want to rub off here and open up the yellow. Does that, but yeah, not the best result. But there's a lot of reds in here though, close to the pin. The question is, where do you put your yellow in here to not leave a double? And that question, that's a
It's
question they
better
want some help
answered
with.
by a coach.
So they're going to take a timeout as well.
Yeah, and Erich Nuffenegger is going to come down to the ice.
Met daar mag ze lezen neven. Huh? De lees je neven vol hangen.
Dat toch?
Met dat hier mag ze, de lees je perfect lang.
Hier.
Dan lees je net als de.
Ja, zo.
Hebben. Dus daar dan een variant.
Roll zo. Ja, te leuk.
Hoe hier vriend? Hier vriend.
Ging niet slecht.
Daar is even te gaan en even.
De leek daar.
Ab der Michi, de lees je niet. Zo. Zo.
Het is zeer schwierig, weil wenn wir da vorne nehmen, dann wäre immer der Topf. Irgendwie. Was ist der Freeze?
Freeze of rood.
Hier.
Wenn kann er even nachspelen, aber das ist halt das Risiko. Auf einen können wir näher ja immer.
Hier.
Aber da bringt er auch. Da bringt er auch.
Nein, da bringt,
nee,
da bringt er nicht beide raus.
Das klemmt er.
So bringt er nicht beide. Hier.
Ja, wenn wir hier reinlegen.
Gut, wenn wir einen 20 verstecken, dann einfach da.
Ja.
So, halb versteckt. Wenn wir einfach 20 verstecken, hat er...
Sicher.
Okay.
Nicht hier.
Über hier.
Was macht er, wenn wir hier sind?
Okay, so tricky shot. Gonna find the tee line, need to bury about half. really important to avoid a double.
Tough shot this. Needs to be pretty precise not to leave a double. Don't think they're far away here. Starting to curl. Weight's not bad by the looks of it. Maybe left it for too long here. Needs to pass the top red. Okay, so just not curling enough, but still not bad.
Still sitting 1. Italy can now choose. They can play the straight double, or they could make some sort of tap again.
I think I'd be playing the double here. Making those double. Still tough to score for the Swiss boys.
Yeah, they would need to draw the side of the forefoot. Need to keep your focus now, Musaner. We all know that he can throw some weight, but right now it's all about hitting this in the right spot. And I'm not really sure what this means. Oh, technical difficulty. His handle's not working. This is not what you want right now. Oh, it's okay. Okay, so now he just needs to refocus. Don't really want to miss the stone because you're thinking about the wrong thing.
So we'll see some big weight here. Missed one completely down this side of the sheet earlier in the game.
It seems closer.
Definitely on the top one here. That makes it. That's a really nice shot by Amos Musaner. And put some pressure on Switzerland too. Sits in front with 2 reds. Choking off the forefoot. See here again. Just perfect. Sticks the shooter in front too.
And Switzerland, they're not going to draw the forefoot. They're going to hit and roll off the side red. Need to make this to force this into an extra end.
And Skip Eirik Mjøen of Norway just play this last shot in the 10th end to win over Scotland. And they're going to stay undefeated at 5 wins. But last shot here for Reto Keller. Oh, flop here for one, and the extra end. Waiting for it to curl. Needs to nudge
catch
in.
the forefoot.
Nope. Is denied, and it's
have
going to
it.
be 1 red for Italy. It was a close fought game. And seemed like Switzerland had a grasp of the game until that big steal of 2 in the 8th for Italy. And they just couldn't manage to find their way here in the 10th. China set up for 2, and also a failed attempt here with their last shot for the 1 in the extra. Last game to mention is also Austria, USA. Wunderer pulled off his last shot in the 10th to score 1 also, winning the game 6 shots to 5. Elsewhere we had Canada beating China 8-4, Sweden beating Russia 8-3, and as just mentioned, Norway, only team still undefeated, 7 shots to 6 win over Scotland. A really interesting game there too. But as you take a look at our scoreboards, our future game between Italy and Switzerland was won by the Italians with a score of 1 in the 10th. So Italians still looking strong for a potential playoff spot. And if you stick around, we should have some highlights, and we might have a few words with the winning skip, Amos Mosaner. So Switzerland moves to 3-2 after this loss today. And I'll take a look at the highlights. Second end. Big mess of stones in the house. Switzerland already lying 2. Reto Keller, the 4th for Switzerland, trying to put one more in there for three. But never curls enough and only gets to 2. And the third end, it was Italy that would bounce back. Open draw for Mosaner to score the 2 and tie up the game. And with some sweeping, brings this one into the forfeit to tie up the game. In the fourth end, we had a big mess from Amos Mosaner trying to play a double on the wide yellows. Runs it straight past, only picking off his 1 red, leaving a draw for 3. Reto Keller makes it perfect. And Switzerland takes a solid 5-2 lead after 4 ends. And the fifth, another chance for Italy to pick up a couple. Needs this nose run double to score 2. And still a lead for Switzerland after 5. In the sixth end, Reto Keller facing 3 reds. Italy's guard came a little close, allowing this double. Makes it perfect, scores 1. And 2-point lead for the Swiss boys. In the 7th, we saw Amos Mosaner being forced to take a 1 here. Draw weight, good again, finds the button, and still trailing the Swiss. 8th end would be a crucial one in this game. Made a good few draws. The Italians, Reto Keller really unlucky with his first one, feather off the guard. On his second, couldn't curl enough and goes straight by both reds. A big steal of 2 for Italy, really changed the momentum of the game. Leading 7 shots to 6. And after a blank 9th, a whole bunch of reds in there. Reto Keller needs to score 1 for the extra. Just waiting for this one to curl, but it never does. And Italy steals 1 and the game. Final score, 8 shots to 6 for Italy.
That was a really tight game. Tell me, how did you manage to turn it around?
Yeah, it was a very difficult game, and for us it was important to win this game. And we were down at the break, so we return in the sheet, and we still won, and the end we still 2. So the game was very tight, and in the end we still won and we won.
Did you say anything special in the break that allowed you to be so good in the second half?
Yeah, in the first time of the game, we was not so lucky, and we missed a little bit, a lot of the shot. I missed it in the fourth end, and they scored 3. And after the break, we turned on and we won.
So we're getting closer and closer to the playoffs. Are we going to see you there?
I don't know. We have 2 games tomorrow and 2 Sunday, and we'll see.
Okay, well, best of luck to you and your team.
Yeah, for the team,
Good luck to you with the rest of the week.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.